Breaking Cycles, Building Legacies, the courage to create new paths. Have you ever stood at the edge of a generational pattern and thought, this stops with me? That moment, that decision might be the most profound act of courage you'll ever undertake. And yet, it's often a lonely journey with no fanfare, no immediate reward, just the quiet knowledge that something different is possible. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Zarriah Kennedy, whose insights on breaking cycles and building new legacies left me profoundly moved. Zarriah isn't just another voice in the conversation about professional development. She's a revolutionary force reshaping how Black professionals navigate hostile environments. Her work illuminates paths through darkness that many thought impenetrable. What makes Zarriah truly exceptional is her unwavering commitment to ensuring that today's struggles become tomorrow's stepping stones, not just for individuals, but for entire communities seeking liberation from systemic barriers. What struck me most in our conversation was a truth so simple yet so often overlooked. Breaking generational cycles isn't just about personal healing, it's about saving an entire legacy. Think about that for a moment. When you choose to break a cycle, whether of trauma, limiting beliefs, or systemic exclusion, you're not just changing your life. You're altering the trajectory of generations to come. You're saying this pain stops here and something new begins. But here's what they don't tell you about breaking cycles: it's exhausting, it's thankless, and sometimes it feels impossible. Because when you're the first to set boundaries, the first to demand respect, the first to step into spaces not designed for you, there's no roadmap, no one to tell you, yes, this is exactly how it's done. You're creating the path as you walk it, often stumbling through thorny underbrush while others watch from the comfort of well worn trails. And that's precisely what Letitia Clark understood when she founded the Pink Parachutes on Diaries podcast. After witnessing talented Black women being dismissed from corporate roles while watching less qualified colleagues advance, she refused to let these stories remain invisible. She created a platform centered on authentic storytelling, a space where underrepresented voices could share their journeys without shame or censorship. What began as the response to injustice grew into an influential movement celebrating both achievement and struggle while building solidarity among listeners. The podcast became more than content, it became community, a place where shared experiences validated the reality so many were living but few were discussing. When you tell your story, Letitia often says, you free someone else to tell theirs. And isn't that the heart of breaking cycles? This understanding that our individual acts of courage create ripple effects far beyond what we can see. Consider Trinine Davis, whose leadership transformation work moves organizations beyond surface level diversity toward environments where Black excellence is celebrated, not merely tolerated. Her approach has literally saved careers teetering on the brink of collapse and preserved the mental health of countless professionals by validating lived experiences instead of erasing them. What's remarkable about Davis's work is how she transformed her own encounters with professional exclusion into fuel for revolutionizing company cultures across industries. She didn't just survive the system, she's actively rebuilding it. Her initiatives have resulted in measurable increases in retention rates among Black employees and fundamental shifts toward inclusive leadership practices at multiple firms. This is what breaking cycles looks like in action. It's not just walking away from what harms you, it's creating something better in its place. It's saying, not only will I not perpetuate this pain, but I will build something healing instead. But let's be honest. This work of breaking cycles and building new legacies demands something profound. Embracing your authentic identity, even especially in spaces that may not value or understand you. Christy Lawson's work with Black professionals powerfully illustrates this truth. She advocates helping people walk confidently in their purpose, even when they are the only one in the room. Her clients face challenges ranging from subtle microaggressions, being mistaken for administrative staff, to overt dismissal, having ideas ignored until repeated by others. They experience the exhausting pressure not just to perform, but to conform. Lawson's solution isn't to teach people how to fit in better. Instead, she recommends rigorous self reflection exercises and seeking out mentorships and networks designed specifically around cultural affirmation, not assimilation. The results speak volumes. Participants report increased career satisfaction alongside improved negotiation skills, leading directly to greater financial security. All of this rooted in newfound confidence regarding their worth. Your authenticity, Lawson tells her clients, is not negotiable. It's your superpower. This brings me to a critical insight from my conversation with Zarriah Kennedy. True transformation begins with embracing your authentic self, especially in environments that pressure you to shrink. Building confidence through self reflection and nurturing supportive networks empowers professionals to stand tall in their truth, advocate for themselves, and create new pathways for those who follow. But here's where many of us get stuck. We think breaking cycles is solely about individual strength and personal resilience. We tell ourselves, if I just work harder, if I just get tougher, I can overcome anything. This narrative is incomplete and potentially harmful because breaking cycles isn't just about individual fortitude, it's about community. It's about recognizing that some burdens were never meant to be carried alone. Some mountains were never meant to be climbed in isolation. When Zaria speaks about community and storytelling as powerful tools for healing and progress, she's pointing to something essential. Sharing your story authentically helps others realize they're not alone in their struggles. It fosters connection, healing, validation, and hope within the community. Building intentional networks creates space where achievements are celebrated alongside challenges, fueling collective progress. I'm reminded of the African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Breaking cycles requires both the courage to stand alone when necessary and the wisdom to build community that sustains the journey. This is precisely why spaces like the Pink Parachute Diaries matter so profoundly. They remind us that our individual struggles are part of a larger story. That when one person breaks through a barrier, they create a crack through which light shines for everyone. But let me be clear about something. Breaking cycles isn't just about overcoming obstacles, it's about reimagining what's possible. It's about asking what could exist instead of this pain? What could we build in place of these barriers? What legacy could we create if we refuse to accept the limitations handed to us? This is the revolutionary power of the work Zarriah Kennedy champions. Not just resistance against what harms, but creation of what heals. And yet, and yet, there's a particular loneliness to being the cycle breaker, a weight that comes with being the first to say, no more, the first to demand better, the first to walk away from what has always been toward what could be. And sometimes you stand at the edge of transformation and look back, hoping to see others following, only to find yourself alone. Sometimes you wonder if the sacrifice is worth it, if anyone notices, if anything is really changing. In those moments, remember this truth. Breaking cycles is not just about what you're walking away from. It's about what you're walking toward. It's about the space you're creating for yourself and others to exist fully, to thrive completely. And sometimes the most profound impact of your courage won't be visible in your lifetime. Sometimes you're planting trees whose shade you'll never sit under, but someone will. The work of breaking cycles and building new legacies is, at its heart, an act of profound hope. It's saying, I believe something better is possible. I believe we deserve more. I believe the future can be different from the past. And that belief, that hope is contagious. So here is my challenge to you today. Don't just walk away from what harms you, build what heals you. Don't just break the cycle, create the legacy. Don't just survive the system, transform it. Take one concrete step this week toward embracing your authentic story without shame. Whether that means writing down the cycles you're breaking, sharing your journey with someone who needs to hear it, or reaching out to build community with others walking similar paths. Remember that your courage to break cycles today becomes someone else's permission to do the same tomorrow. Your willingness to stand in your truth becomes someone else's evidence that it's possible. We may never fully know the impact of our courage. We may never see all the people inspired by our refusal to accept what has always been. We may never meet those who walk through the doors we pried open, but they're there and they matter. And so do you. So stand tall in your truth. Share your story, build your community, break your cycles, create your legacy because somewhere, someone is watching, someone is waiting, someone needs to know it's possible. And because of you, because of your courage to break cycles and build something new, they'll know that it is.